they've done a lovely job of fixing it up. If you look up above the door here beside us, you'll see the lovely coat of arms all fully restored. The lion represents England. The unicorn represents Scotland. So for any young children on board, there's a unicorn up there. Trust the Scots to have an imaginary animal as their national animal. Must be the whiskey, I suppose. Now, just beside us, there's a little sign that says Mr. Brightside. That's a rooftop bar up on the roof of this building. So if you want to head up and sit on the roof and enjoy some views and hospitality, just head through the door up to the roof, hang out with all of the beautiful people. If you're coming out of your cage and doing just fine, Mr. Brightside is for you. Now, because it's just after Christmas and you guys must have had a good Christmas, I'm going to give you my best joke and you can keep it and pretend it's yours, I don't mind. And it's to do with the lion up there. Are you ready? What's the best way to eat a lion? Roar! There you go, keep that one. Right. That's not a dad joke, that's twice as good. That's a granddad joke. Right, anyway, Mr. Brightside up on the Now, if you don't want to sit on the roof for hospitality, in front of us on the left, 21 restaurants and bars, all in a row. So this is all new. Now, this is the hardest thing to get your head around when you're new to our city, and if you haven't been here before, everything in front of us has been built since the earthquakes. The entire area along the river had to be rebuilt with the exception of these two buildings just beside us. They survived just fine. But everything in front of us, new. 21 restaurants and bars, plenty of choice for hospitality this evening in restaurants. If you're vegan, there's Lord of the Fries. They specialise in non-meat takeaways. King of Snakes is one of the best restaurants in the city. Just beside us is Chihuahua, if you just want a margarita. Just drop it and see them. We'll head down the steps to the water on the right. A lot of wildlife down there. Geese and ducks and swans and trout. But best of all, living under the steps, you'll find the tuna, the native eels. Head down, splash the water by the steps. If you're lucky, the eels will come out hoping for food. Right, we're coming around to stop 4, which is the best place in the central city for humans for food. It's the Riverside Markets down the laneway to the right. 40 different eateries and a big open indoor area, not to be missed. This is the best place in the whole central city for kids to nag their parents. Down here you'll find ice creams, milkshakes, hot dogs, donuts and lollies, all down there, which means it's also stop for a fantastic stop for parents who love saying no to their children. Just take them down there, you'll get to say no 100 times. You're most welcome. Cheers. If you want to hop on again this afternoon, the last tram comes through here at 5 anytime before then. Show me a ticket. Thanks, guys. Are you all sorted out? Just give me a sec, I just saw these guys. Thank you. Join us when you like for the rest of the afternoon. Here we go. Get up, welcome aboard. Sit yourself. Thank you, Master. If you lost us, Master, he'll tell you where to go. Tells me where to go every day. Yes, come on. So bossy. Right. You know the bossiest teacher you've got? Not as bossy. He just tells you what to do all day. Never ends. So anyway, if you don't find something to nag your parents about down at the Riverside Markets, you can nag them with more awesome. Delicious. Another great place to say no to your children. There's a sculpture festival on at the moment called Scape. There's sculptures all over the city. My least favourite one is just coming up on the right here. 5 blank Christmas trees. Looks like someone opened a Christmas shop in Royal. Oh, it's alright, it's art. You don't have to like everything unless it's interesting. For the parents on the tram, because it's school holidays particularly, just beside us is a Unikin pharmacy. Heaps of kerosene boxes. Big 100 boxes. So there's only 5 On the right, Valentine's department store, oldest department store in New Zealand, still owned by the Valentine's family after over 150 years. For any of you from the northern hemisphere, there's snow in the This is a colonial hangover here in Australia, New Zealand. We Europeans have lived down here for a couple of hundred years. We still put snow in the window. It's very hard. Right, stop. 5. So, you've got the Valentine's Christmas window. If you'd like to, you can go to the window and listen to the Christmas Eve adventure of the hungry little elf. Lovely, a very cheerful woman will read it out to you. It's so much fun, you'll love it. Or you can go a block to your right, and you'll find the Hoyts. You can go and see a movie, 10-pin bowling, indoor mini golf, video games, that kind of stuff. If you want some entertainment, just a block down there. The bus exchange is also a block to the right. Now, if any of you are visiting our city and you've got your own transport, and you want to go for a scenic drive, this street here is Colombo Street. It runs north-south straight to the hills. If you're in your car, get on the street and just drive towards the hills. Once you get to the hills, you keep driving, and the road will take you all the way to the top. The views up there of Littleton Harbour and out over the plains are absolutely fantastic. Just drive up to the top of the hills. Easy peasy. Or you can just stay in town and go shopping. Clothes on the right, shoes on the left, makeup in front of us, jewellers just beside us. Hop off to this next stop, wave your credit card around everyone. Lovely. Stop 6 for retail therapy. This is also a good stop for one of our earthquake memorials. 2 blocks in front of us on the left, you'll find the site of the CTV building, which collapsed on the day of the earthquakes with the loss of 118 lives. They're never building another building on the site. Permanent memorial garden, 2 blocks in front of us on the left. Thanks guys, have a great day. If you want to hop on the tram again, last one through here at around 5. Thanks guys. You gotta walk my book. You've got snacks. Just bring it up for everyone. Or you just get to sit there and eat all yourself. Am I sufficiently embarrassed to you? I can keep driving. I'm sorry. Anyway, this is shopping central. If your mental health is improved by buying shoes, there's about 4 shoe shops just there. There's makeup here in front of you. If you need some undies, H&M, we've got everything. It's easy peasy. We'll come down that track beside us in a few minutes. We're just going to take a short drive down nicely. In front of us, you see some palm trees on the roof up there. That's the Pink Lady. I need to find out what's going on. I expected them to be open today, but I can't see anyone up there, which suggests that oh no, there's someone. They are opening. So if you want to sit up on the roof and enjoy some hospitality up there, Pink Lady. They've got a cocktail called the Pink Mistress, which involves candy floss. So if you want a sugar rush and an alcohol hit at the same time, there you go. Right. Actually, if you're up to candy floss and stuff, are they open? Yes, they are. Just beside us is a place called Wonderlust. They do nitrogen ice cream and all kinds of weird candy floss and stuff, so no one checking out. They've only been open a few months. They are very pink, which is good. Right, in front of us, you'll see a hill, and if you want to, you can take a 10-minute cable car ride. Just see, hold on, so this is the stop. This is stop. You want to go up on? Okay, this is stop 6.5. Right. Welcome board, grab a seat. Right, so if you want to do, you can take a 10-minute cable car ride up the hill in front of us to the building at the top. Fantastic views up there of Whakareaupo, Littleton Harbour down the other side, nice hilltop walks, nice cafe. Well worth heading up if you get a chance. It's a 20-minute drive away, just ask Auntie Google, she'll get you there. The number 28 bus takes you right to the door. If you have the spare time, the gondola is well worth a visit. The views up there are sensational on a fine day. Now, where are you guys from, by the way?
Auckland.
Oh, you're down from Auckland? No, that's okay. We'll be all right. There's a toy and collectibles museum 3 blocks down to the right. The Quest Hotel down Manchester Street here, just by that. There's a toy and collectibles museum there if you're looking for things to do. Unfortunately, I'm not sure of its opening hours over Christmas. My brain's not big enough to hold the opening hours of every single place in the city, so a bit vague on that one. But the Toy and Collectible Museum it's called, if you want to look it up. Right. Now, once we get the lights here, we're going to head down Litchfield Street, and you guys on board from New Zealand will know this, maybe from Australia, but Christchurch is home to the best rugby team in the world, and I didn't even get a buy. Let's go. There you go. Anyway, unfortunately for us, due to the earthquakes, we haven't had a proper stadium for 12 years. Lancaster Park was destroyed, but we're finally building a new stadium, and it's being built directly in front of us where the fence is. So it's 30,000 seater, and much to my disgust, it's going to have a roof. So I've been picking on Dunedin for years for having a roof on their stadium. Bunch of softies. We're doing the same thing. Top level rugby is going to be indoor pickleball here in the future. I don't mind for the concerts, but rugby's the outdoor sport. Get a bit of mud and rain. Right, look at the hospo later on the left here, the Ducks Deluxe. They've been around over 70 years. I used to go there when I was a badly behaved teenager 40 years ago. They're still going strong. They used to be over in the Arts Centre. They moved here after waiting. Right, we're coming into stop 7, which is the Salt District, and just beside us an adorable wee sculpture or statue of the Queen's Corgis. Just on the ground here beside us. Stop 7. So, if you're on this side, you might need to stand up and see it. The Queen's Corgis just on the ground down here. They've been there since 2002. They were put in for the Queen's Golden Jubilee. She reigned for another 20 years, so the diamond dogs now. They were covered in flowers the day after they announced Her Majesty had died, so that was quite touching. But what I find hilarious, but a little bit tragic, is those dogs get no respect at all from every other dog in the city. So, yeah, very well irrigated. You see some of these buildings look old. They're actually new buildings that just saved the facades. The easiest way to show you what I mean is the white one beside us. If you look up at the top right corner of it, you can see the sky through the window. So the new building in behind isn't even the same size as the original. Right, coming up on our right is the best local bar in the city. None of this tourist stuff. On the right is Smash Palace. It's a bar and a bus. There you go. It's owned by Johnny Moore. His nightclub was destroyed in the quake, so he just shoved all his bar gear and bus the locals. Just sit around beers here and chat. A great spot. Off to the left, there's a car on the wall up there. See it up there? Red one. It's been up there since the early 2000s. It was put up for an advertising campaign. What fascinates me about that car is it was there during the earthquakes. So 1,200 buildings were demolished, but the car was fine. Don't ask me how that works. Whatever they stuck it up with, they should flog off to the construction industry. Right, now I normally talk about the history of our city and what's around us as we travel around, but here's the area I talk about our future a bit, and it's all because of these buildings being constructed on the right, which is apartments. Now this is an enormous change coming to our city. Prior to the earthquakes, almost no one in Christchurch lived in an apartment. We had very few apartment buildings. Most people lived in their own house on their own section. And then the earthquakes hit, we demolished 14,000 residential houses, thousands and thousands of others were badly damaged. 1,200 commercial buildings came down in the central city. The place was a mess. So they rezoned a lot of the inner city residential. And they're building a lot of new apartments around here, over 800 along here. Exactly. That's an ongoing issue, actually. There was an article in the paper a couple of weeks ago. Some guy. Oh, why not? I'll tell you that story. Give me a sec. We're just like everywhere else in the world. So the Ducks has been there for several years. Some guy who owns a big company, a cool store company or something, I've forgotten his name. He has a rooftop apartment around here somewhere. So we've got people in with noise meters to carefully measure the noise every time anyone tried to play music at the Ducks, so that he could complain if it went over 65 decibels, which is just a normal conversation. So he's like, oh, we'll stuff you, I've got an apartment, I'm going to shut you down. So it ended up in the paper about it, but it turns out that he's been having noise complaint issues with his factory where he's been running all night. Yeah, just wouldn't credit it. Anyway, it is an ongoing issue here. I won't get into the politics of it, but Christchurch is transforming itself into an inner city place, and it's having its issues because the noise is a big part of the problem. They're building a new stadium, spending $700 million building it, and it can only have 15 concerts a year because they're building 800 apartments. Everyone's going to complain about the noise. I mean, whatever. Don't build an apartment in this. Don't buy an apartment in the middle of the city if you don't like noise. Would be my opinion. Kia ora, good afternoon. Yes, I am. But you can join us if you wish. What? Oh, there's two down the back. Yeah, we'll squeeze through them. Yeah. Well, there's the blue green one's coming in a minute. It's up to you. Join us or don't. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Right, anyway, you distracted me with talks of... Sorry, you distracted me with talks of concerts and noise and stuff. Anyway, so you guys from Auckland will be a bit depressed, but you can pick up an entry-level studio over here for well under 500,000. People from Wellington and Auckland usually start sobbing quietly at this point, but they're selling very, very quickly off plan. Right, we're heading back into town. You'll notice on the right of us here a big hole in the ground. That used to be the Holiday Inn Hotel. You can still stay there if you want, but you're going to need a tent, I'm afraid. They have just put a billboard up of what they're planning to build on the site. You can see it on the right as we come along here, just up here. So it's just a new office block. It's nothing too flashy, but it's better than a hole in the ground. Though, to be honest, apparently it's going to be a dominant position. I don't even know what that means. It sounds like something off a dodgy website to me. Right, heading down High Street. There's our Melbourne tram beside us, 244. That's from 1926. So this whole street's new, built since the earthquakes. All of these buildings are fully earthquake-proof, all rated to withstand an 8.5 or larger, much bigger than anything we've had in the past. The main thing they've done to make these buildings earthquake-proof is give them very deep foundations. The ANZ on the left is 28 metres high. The piles go 30 metres into the ground. They just drive them in until they stop moving. Right, stop 9 is called Flower Power, just named after the sculpture on the left of the tram. A sheaf of wheat made out of street lamps and an old car tyre. Lights up at night if you happen to be in the area. Looks quite cool. Stop 9. Thanks guys, have a great afternoon. Last tram will come through here about 10 past 5. Now, I'm assuming I've got people on board from Australia at the moment. No one's owning up. That's unusual. The reason I was asking is that bird in front of us on the left there is actually Australian. Actually, you Kiwis on board might not know this. You'll probably recognise the bird on the wall over there. It's a waxeye or a toho. But it's actually an Australian bird, even though it's a New Zealand native. They only arrived here in New Zealand about 150 years ago. A large flock of them were blown across the Tasman in a huge storm. And of course, once you've landed in New Zealand from Australia, why would you go back? So they all stayed. But the thing is, because they came near the wind, it's considered natural, so they're a native species. If you brought it in your suitcase, that would make it a pest, but because it's a wind, that's not. For those of you local, there's a picture on the fence in front of us. They put a picture up of what they expect the cathedral to look like when they finished it in 5 years. Just In front of us on the right, the OGB bar. They've been bar of the year for around the last 5 years. Lovely wee spot to enjoy a wee bit of hospo in the afternoon. Notice people are waiting. Just in front of us, penguins. Gorgeous picture. I watched the guy painting using rollers and 6-inch brushes. Brilliant. Anyway, Christchurch is the gateway to the Antarctic. You'll see a lot of Antarctic ice things stuff around the place. And then on the right here, the library, Tūranga. Now, Tūranga was the original name for Gisborne up until 1870. The library has their name because that's the area the local Māori here, Ngāi migrated from the 17th century, coming here to Te Wairoa, South Island. Ngāi get involved in the design of Tūranga and tells the story of their migration south. Lovely building, do visit if you get a chance. On the right, Te Pai, the new convention centre. You guys walking might notice our convention centre is not anyway, glad you still get that joke. It's about 3 years out of date now. Anyway, this building cost us $500 million to build. It was funded by central government. Sorry, Kiwis on board pay for that. Thanks very much. 43,000 tiles on the outside, inspired by the great brilliance of the Canterbury Plains. Largest building we've ever built in Christchurch, covering the whole city. And this is Stock 2, Stephen Square. Most of you will recognise this stock because we do a figure 8 through the city, and this is the middle of it. Thank you guys. Trams run through till about 5:30. Join us when you like. So we've just finished 3 to 9. Now we're going to do 10 to 18. First, a little bit of history of the area. This city itself began in December 1850 with the arrival of 800 Anglicans. Very deliberate Anglican. Yeah, welcome aboard, dude. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you. The city arrived with the arrival of 800 Anglicans. Very deliberate Anglican settlement, planned, funded, settled by the Church of England. So all the first settlers had letters from their vicar saying they were a fit and proper person, which is code for Anglican, basically. We have it on good authority. A number of vicars in England were very, very keen to sign those letters for some of their more annoying parishioners. So, Christchurch Europeans are descended from the The first people though arrived here around about 1,000 years ago. We now know them as Waitaha. They had a settlement just by the river over here in front of us. Waitaha arrived around about the 12th century. But the local Māori here arrived in the early 18th century. They migrated down this way from Tūranga Highway on the east coast of Te Ika Maui, so that's sort of the Gisborne area, halfway up the North Island. And they settled here on the banks of the river they know as Aotakaro here at Stock. So, just a second. Oh, we got a few seats. Welcome aboard. We'll just strap the kids to the roof. They'll be fine. Oh, wait one sec. These guys will hop on. Wow, you went a long way. Welcome aboard, guys. Have a seat. Oh, and one more. There we go. No, we're going for 3. Come on, no, welcome aboard, children. If you get on and off the tram 8 times in the day, that's your legs. You don't have to go to the gym tonight. There you go. Hey, short stuff. Welcome aboard. You've all got your tickets in. Right, so I've completely forgotten what I was talking about. What was I talking about? Weren't you paying attention? Oh, annoying Anglican. Oh, yeah, that's right. Right. So the local Māori Ngāi Tahu settled on the banks of this river in the early 18th century, and they don't know this river as Aotakaro, which translates as place of play, because children would play on the riverbank while mum and dad were doing all the work. Some things never, ever, ever, ever change. Bring back coal mining for 10-year-olds, I reckon. Kids have it far too easy. That's the end of my rant about children. Right. 1843, a couple of Scotsmen showed up here, the Deans brothers. They named the river the Avon after the Avon waters in Scotland where they came from. The Deans brothers were the first sheep farmers here, and they named the river the Avon after the Avon waters in Scotland. Then in 1850, the English arrived to begin the city of Christchurch, and they planned to call the river the Shakespeare, but the two Scotsmen told them to sod off, so it stayed the Avon, which we're quite grateful for, because they were planning to call Christchurch Stratford, and if we'd been Stratford on Shakespeare, that would have been cringe, so I'm very glad that never happened. Quick little bit of history while I wait for the lights. If you look just over there to the left, you'll see a black street lamp. It's very hard to tell, but it is actually burning. It's a gas lamp. When they went electric, they kept one gas lamp. It's still got a gas supply. It's been going almost continuously for well over 100 years. It just kept one. Right, things to do. Coming up on the right is the art gallery. Take a look at all my featured free to visit. Open 5. Varied and extensive collection of art. Well worth look through if you get a chance. Lots to explore on foot around here. Art gallery beside us, art centre across the road, museum and gardens at the end of the street. Stop. 11. Right. No, you've got to take me with you. You're not letting me go.
Thank you so much.
Last train comes to get Fiddlesticks always makes me smile. It was the rudest word I ever heard my grandmother say. May she rest in peace. She died a very long time ago, but fiddlesticks was what she'd say if she was frustrated and angry, so I always remember her for that. This building was described as a warehouse in a tutu. You can see the back's boring, the front's flash. It's a bit like a reverse mullet. So the flash bit out the front, 2,178 glass panes, 0 of them broke in the earthquakes. They all survived. Completely intact. Stock 12, just next to us here, the Art Centre. These buildings were the university up until the 1970s. In the 1970s, the university moved out. It's been an art centre ever since. And just wait 1 sec, guys, just let people on off with it. Thank you. Last train comes through here around 5:30. Join us when you like. So they've spent over $200 million restoring all of this. Huge project. Largest heritage restoration in the southern hemisphere. Kia ora, guys, welcome aboard. Oh, you've got your key. Grab a seat. How you doing? Grab a seat. Put yourselves down. Please put yourself here. So if we sit you there, you see, then you really avoid people behind you. Now we can trust you, can't we? Because you see this? Mustn't touch. Okay? I know, it's so boring. But that's the break. If you touch that, we all go through the front window. Oh, you've got it. Well done. Good stuff. That's why I've got you there, because I didn't trust that guy. So, welcome aboard, guys. Yeah, you can welcome to sit on that seat if you want. The one that's just there. That's the comfiest seat on the whole tram.
Thank you.
Pop yourself down. You can, if you want to swing it round sideways, well, you can do that. I mean, you can ride backwards if you want, but if you just lift it side, it will rotate about 90 degrees if you want to just bring it round a bit. Just lift it in, and it, just lift. Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
There you go.
Perfect.
Comfiest seat on the tram. Though very insecure, so just like be cautious. Yeah. I don't know if you're actually insecure. I'd have to ask your partner, but I mean, I'm in the seat. Anyway, you'll see the obviously new stonework beside us. That's limestone from the Wamaru down south. It looks new, it is new. The slate on the roof came from North Wales. They've gone to so much trouble to fix these buildings up. And you can see beside us, they're not quite finished. Just a wee bit of work left to do, a few months. It's been a 10-year project. This is closer to finish than you think. It's been 10 years, though, within months of finishing. Right, we're coming up to stop 13 for the Botanic Gardens. They're open till 9. And then in front of us is the museum. And those of you who are local, the museum's getting interesting. On the 3rd of January, the museum is closing until the 28th of January when it's reopening as something called Shift. I'll tell you in a sec. Guys, there's another tram just 1 block behind me. Okay, best be there because you can put the pushchair on there. Cheers, guys. So you see him coming down the street. He's just across the road. Cheers, guys. So Shift is, I've only just found out about this, so pardon me if I get it slightly messed up. The museum's closing in April for up to 5 years for a full refurbishment. They've been packing everything up in there. On the 3rd of January, they're closing the place up, and then 3 weeks later, they're inviting a bunch of urban street artists in to do whatever they want in there. Weeks, and they're opening it up on the 28th of January to see what they came up with. And then it'll be open like that for a couple of months, and then it will close for up to 5 years. So since they're completely stripping and refurbishing the building, they're going a bit crazy in their first 6 months. On the left, Christ College Private Anglican Boys Boarding School, very much modelled on the English public school system. If you look through the gates on our left, you'll see some of the oldest school buildings in the country. Lovely old campus. If you want to send your son there as a boarder, 40,000. If you've got daughters, you're quite safe. No girls allowed. On the left, Hagley Park was 200 hectares of parkland right in the middle of the city. One of the largest inner city parks in the world. And tomorrow night, there will be a big free concert on the lawn over there. So if you want to go and enjoy a free New Year's Eve concert, just head on over. It'll be fun tomorrow night. Those of you from New Zealand, they've got Dragon playing. I think they're getting day release from the old people's home. So they'll be out. I think one thing you can say about Dragon these days is they are definitely older. That's a local joke. For those of you from overseas who've got no idea what I'm talking about, which is I'm assuming a few of you, Dragon are like New Zealand's version of the Rolling Stones. They were big a very long time ago. Right. They weren't as good as the Rolling Stones, they're just that old. Right. So, big concert tomorrow night. One of my favourite things about it, I hope they still do this, they used to, they have a fake midnight, about 8:30, 9 o'clock. So, at 9 p.m. they go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year! Right, you kids, go home. And then block your ears, don't listen. And then, so, yeah, don't listen. So the whole point is that, you know how 8-year-olds are desperate to see midnight, but then it's too late for them. Well, they pretend it's midnight at 9 o'clock so they can all go home happy, and then they fire up again. Right. White lies are good. Many needs some exercise around the outside of the park is 5.5 k's. A lot of the locals go for a run. If you want to go for a 5k run, off you go. Very well designed running track. There's a hospital halfway around. New Zealand is a rugby mad nation, and there's a plaque in the corner of this park that says the very first game of rugby union in New Zealand was played right here beside us in 1863. Now that's quite controversial because if you visit Nelson, by the Cathedral of Nelson, there's a plaque that says the same thing. So, I don't know who's right, two different cities have it. Next stop is a museum called Quake City, all about the earthquakes. If you want to learn more about what happened here, how we dealt with it, heard some stories, memorabilia. Quake City is well worth a visit. Right beside us at the next stop. 16, Quake City. $20 for adults, kids free. You get a real inside. if you don't feel like visiting a museum, you can always from here go to the casino, which is 200 metres up the road to the left. Most of our churches were damaged or destroyed in the earthquakes. The casino was just fine. They should get casino architects to design churches. It might save everyone the grief, I think. I don't know if any of you watch Star Wars, but I think this corner of the convention centre looks like a stormtrooper's helmet. Once you see it, you're stuck with it. There you go. You'll never unsee it now. Does you think that looks like the helmet from Star Wars? The building, see? Looks like our big Lego. You reckon the guy who built it was a Lego Star Wars? Yeah, that's what I reckon. Now, just in front of us on the left, Ice Cream Charlie, a traditional ice cream treat here in Christchurch. They've been selling ice cream from here since 1903. They still use the same recipe for the ice cream as the day they first opened 120 years ago. Any flavour you want as long as it's vanilla. There you go. Right, Victoria Square on the left, Queen Victoria. Most of our male statues fell down and broke in the earthquake. She just stood there scowling through the whole thing. Never moved. Victoria Square. This is a lovely park just for relaxing and enjoying the day. You'll see the lovely water features. There's a bit of bush, the river meanders through, lots of seats under the trees. Just you'll often hear of Christchurch referred to as Hotel Tahi. That used to be the name of Pau, a fortified village a few hundred metres around the river in front of us. And the Roman Catholics have bought the land just in front of us here on the left. And they're building a new cathedral just here in front of us. So that's a bit of a power move in this very Anglican city. Want to see something crazy? I'll show you in a second. We've got a sculpture festival on, and the craziest sculpture in the whole city is coming up on our left. It's a car up on the platform with the water pouring out. You can see it over here. Now it's by Eddie Clemens, and it's inspired by a Scandinavian crime thriller where they're lifting a car out of the river with a body in it. Why is there water coming out of it? And then in front of us, the Margaret Mayhew Playground, a whole city block just for kids. Swing slides, flying foxes, water features, and sand pits. Always open, always free. It's the best playground in the whole country. Not to be missed if you've got wee ones. And this is New Regent Street, stop 18. Lots of little boutique bars and restaurants along here. Ice cream, waffles, cafes, boutique bars in the evening. Rollicking Desserts got a new flavour, gingerbread man ice cream. All sorts along here. New Regent Street, stop 18. Go. Oh, you guys want to see? Here we go, sir. Let me just swing this around and pop out an easy piece.
Mein Lebenselixier.
See you later, Magnus. So, this street, thanks guys, last tram that's doing another lap will come through here about 5 to 5. Right. Lots of wee boutique bars along here, lovely street for evening hospitality. This street was built in 1931 by a guy called Arthur Stacey. He built this street because he thought Christchurch was boring. He was trying to brighten it up a bit. He spent the 1920s in Southern California. Sorry, just a few kids around here. Right, sorry, there we go. Jim, they've got church pews out the front, completely spent. They won Bar of the Year last year. Right, we're about to cross over Gloucester Street, up to stop 1, Cathedral Junction, the home of the trams. This is where our ticket office is. It's the only place we go inside. Not popping off here, have a cup of tea.